Hello, everyone. Manuela Marchigiani. I am a cosmetic chemist, and welcome to our broadcast of Confessions of a Cosmetic Chemist. In this podcast, we actually explore my experiences as a business person, as a formulator, somebody who's been in the skincare industry and the beauty business for over 35 years. So there's a lot of insight I want to share, and I think we're going to have a fun ride. Today, we're going to talk about clean beauty. Everybody talks about clean beauty, but it's one of those things that truly there is a lot of controversy because the concept of clean beauty, although sounds noble, everybody wants something that's nice and clean. The implications of clean beauty are a little bit confusing because I think it's very dishonest and disingenuous when people talk about clean beauty and what it means, because there is no standard. So just what I want to talk about right here is I'm going to just call it up on my phone, but this really got me, and this really says a lot about what's happening. Here we go. It says, there's this article that came out in the industry, and it says, Sephora wiped clean of alleged misleading clean beauty claims. This is March 15, 2024. So according to a report by Bloomberg Law, Sephora has defeated the proposed class action alleging products labeled clean at Sephora were deceptively marketed because they contain synthetic or otherwise harmful ingredients. Now, this is true. So they're claiming clean beauty, but they're saying clean at Sephora, clean by Sephora. So basically, Sephora is claiming their own standard. They are defining what clean means to them. This is exactly how clean beauty operates. The decision serves as a reminder that there are competing understandings of clean beauty in today's cosmetics industry, and that it is important for brands to be transparent with consumers about how they are applying the term. So what does this mean? It means basically you define the term. So clean beauty is not one thing. It can be anything you want it to be. So some companies are going to say their products are clean because they don't contain parabens. Somebody else will say mine are clean because they don't contain talc. Who's right? They're both right because they define what clean is. So let's really take a look at that understanding of clean. And I think that the average consumer does not understand that clean is a moving target, that clean beauty, it really is not a guarantee that this product is safe or effective. It's basically used as a way to market something, to bring in an audience that it's looking for, a consumer that is looking for something that's clean and natural and safe and non-toxic, and something that's better than something that would have been toxic, or what would be the opposite of clean? Dirty? And just think about that. Would you want to actually ever formulate a dirty product? Like, I have competitors in the cosmetic industry. It's a very competitive market. And there are a lot of formulators that I respect and a lot of formulators that, we think differently. But it doesn't matter who we are in this industry. I don't think that there's any formulator or anybody who makes a product who is deliberately setting out to make a dirty, bad product. Everybody is trying to make the best product that they can formulate with the best possible outcome. That's why you create skincare, and that's why you go into and using ingredients that are safe and non-toxic, that are tested. That's why you go and abide by a lot of the safety standards. So this idea that something is clean, and I used to have this conversation a lot when people were trying to put Isomers forward, or me forward as a cosmetic chemist, or our brand forward, and saying they're the original clean beauty. And I'd be like, no, we are non-toxic beauty. We are safe beauty. We're not the original clean beauty, because I understand the words matter and how we use our words matter. And it's not about, just hitching your wagon onto this terminology for marketing. You hitch your wagon onto it because you now want to be in this trend. We've been in this industry for over 35 years, and we never have hitched our wagon to a trend. Right now, everybody is talking about Ectowin. We went to a trade show, and with the scientists there, this is all about ingredients and science. This is all about really going, thinking outside the box. And they're all talking about Ectowin. They're talking about extremophiles. They're talking about, individual cells that are billions of years old, that are microorganisms. We've been formulating with them for over 25 years. So we're not hitching onto that. We understood that science back then. Okay, maybe we're a little bit ahead of our time. But the true fundamental thing about the chemistry and the science is always trying to make something that is fixing a problem, something that is very relevant. And you want to do this always in a very healthy way, which would predispose the ability to be clean beauty. The clean in the industry should be that it is not toxic, that it is safe, that is solving the problem in the best possible pathway that actually honors your health and safety and the organization and the structure of your skin at any stage and any age. Going around saying, I'm clean because I'm clean beauty because I don't have fragrance in it or I don't have parabens in it, not only is a disservice, it's very misleading because you're actually saying then that parabens are a bad thing, when structurally, scientifically, they are not. Maybe they're out of favor today, and people in the industry don't like parabens because some people are noticing some sensitivities, or there is a little bit of bad press, and sometimes there are narratives that really jump on, like the paraben narrative or the propylene glycol narrative, that these are very bad ingredients, when in actuality, when you look at drugs or over-the-counter medicines or a lot of treatments that are very effective that are prescription based, they require those ingredients in them because one of their delivery system, two, because of their efficacy and their ability to maintain a safe product. So when we're talking about clean beauty, seeing this in here in the industry and seeing that Sephora beats it. So the consumer who has gone to complain and say, wait a minute, your product, although you're saying it's clean, contains these ingredients that are not clean. The funny thing about the Sephora clean is that I've noticed it shifts a little bit, because they will say you can only have product here that is clean as defined by Sephora. And then soon as they see a celebrity or a brand that is very popular and they want to have it on their shelf because of market share, they redefine clean to accommodate that new product. I've seen that. And it's just like, this is not right. This is not moral. This is not right. There is no standard. When you don't have a standard, it's like that thing, when you stand for everything, you stand for nothing. When you don't have a standard, you have no standard. You really, truly don't stand for anything. There is no integrity. There is nothing to rely on. And as a consumer, I work really hard to get consumers and to get people to trust our brand. And then we work really hard to maintain that relationship for decades, because we are providing a product that is safe and efficacious. And we want to introduce different science and different concepts that may be very scary to a lot of people, using different kinds of ingredients or looking at the skin or the body in a very different way. And how can we take you on this journey if you can't even trust us to define clean beauty? If you can't even trust us on something that's so fundamental and so basic as to say that this is a product that you can know no matter where you go, that this is the standard across the board. That standard does not exist. Right now, clean beauty is defined by whatever the brand wants. So you have to do your homework. You have to be very diligent in saying, what do you mean by clean? And you mean it's clean because it doesn't contain this type of ingredient or that type of ingredient. But another brand has all those ingredients and still define themselves clean because maybe theirs is grown in a certain part or they use a certain kind of purification system. This makes it confusing. And I think that the best thing for people is to be aware that there is no standard, to be knowledgeable about when you're thinking about the skincare that you're using, you should not focus on clean. You need to focus on toxicity, and you need to focus on efficacy and what works for you when you are trying to deal with an issue, a problem in your skin or a problem in your beauty routine that you need to fix, because these are supposed to be solutions. These are not just things that have zero relationship with the physiology and the messaging on your skin and in your body, because nowadays the technology actually can do that. There's a lot of technology that can penetrate more than it's supposed to, can signal many different kinds of messages. There's a lot of power in formulations. When you're dealing with skincare, you're not allowed to really go into that world where you are penetrating or messaging. But we do it inadvertently because of the purity or how we're formulating. But I think it's important to understand that when you're dealing with skincare businesses that are been around for a long time, that you know who the formulators are, that they're based on efficacy, and they're trying to be very transparent in about the science that they're using, and they're not hiding behind trends or definitions that keep moving. I find no comfort in the clean beauty movement. I find it is very confusing and misleading, and a lot of people are ruining their skin, getting a lot of reaction because they are trusting a claim that is redefined by anybody, right? So somebody could say that they're very clean because they're based on kiwi extract. But and I'm allergic to kiwi, so I'm using this as an example, right? So if I have a kiwi even in the house, I mean, it's horrible for me. I'm highly, highly, highly allergic. Coughing after I say I'm highly allergic. So if they had kiwi in their product, that would be very bad for me, but it could be a clean product. It would be something that technically fulfills their definition of clean. So I find it very interesting and very aggravating at the same time that so many people subscribe to this and so many big brands subscribe to this, knowing full well that it's only a half truth. And a half truth, it's not scientific. It's not really where brands should be today, especially when everybody's talking about being authentic. You can't be authentic in a half-truth. You can say, we define ourselves as good, or we like our brand because we don't have these things. But to go ahead and be as boastful as to claim clean beauty because of these things when it's actually not defined is something that makes us think. And that's why at our brand, Isomers, we don't say we're clean beauty. I think we struggle with that as a terminology, and I do because fundamentally I see that it is not honest. It's not 100%. And that's what makes us different. And that's why I think that as people become more educated, you will see that I think this win for Sephora was a bad thing. I think Sephora should have lost. I think the judge should have come out and said that there is a place where businesses need to actually protect their customers and not run over their customers with their smart, fancy lawyers and smart definitions and their marketing team. I think there's a problem with that fundamentally because I do think that the consumer needs to be protected. And if we truly are creating skincare that's environmental and non-toxic, then we also don't create an environment that breeds toxicity by fooling our customer by making false claims. Anyways, that's my 2 cents on clean beauty today. And I hope you enjoyed the insight from my perspective as a cosmetic chemist in the industry. I look forward to your questions and comments. Let me know what you think.